Okay, we are recording and we are live on our Zoom call 10/3, October 3rd, 2018. I am not muted anybody, so if you guys want to jump in with any questions to begin with, I don't have anything specific that I want to talk about. I did record an anxiety video on dealing with anxiety already that I need to re-record. I think the audio got messed up on it, so I'll do that, try to do that tonight or tomorrow morning. So, any questions? We'll take questions. I'll probably mute you guys to answer them so that we don't get feedback during the answers.
Dr. Connors, I have one. I was listening to Dr. Ben Lynch. Anyway, he was saying that how long do we take our supplements before we can stop taking them, that they've done their job, we're healed, and et cetera? Hello?
Hello? Good question.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Okay, Deb, try that again. I could not hear your question at all.
Something wrong again.
Okay, can you hear me, Deb?
Yeah, is that better?
Yeah, I just had to mute somebody else. They were getting feedback. So go ahead.
Okay, I was listening to Dr. Ben Lynch today, and he was saying how some people, they were talking about autoimmune diseases. And he said supplementation, he has some people have healed with it. How do we, and cancer is, the end of the, how do you want to say, the most desperate time we need the supplement. But how do we know when we can stop taking our supplements and that the things, our body healed those areas that we're trying to support?
Well, it partly depends on what you're taking supplements for. So if I'm taking supplements for, let's say, a gut issue, and my gut issue is resolved, I don't have those symptoms anymore, I could start taking less.
I'll do that, Brad. Technology's not working today.
Can you guys hear me this way?
Now I
Yes.
Yes. Now.
Okay.
Interference.
So I don't know what's wrong with my audio. So there's lots of reasons why I would maybe decrease taking a supplement if I'm healed from that condition, and the condition isn't a grave condition. Then I would stop taking that supplementation. If the supplement again put my cancer into remission, then I think I would continue to take that supplement. So you got to use some wisdom there, and you can also do testing, whether it's kinesiology testing or some other testing to help make that decision.
Okay, thank you.
And I'll mute you. Any other questions?
Hi, this is Dennis Baldridge. I posted on Facebook and I haven't had a chance to look, so if you've answered there, just tell me to go and look at Facebook. But we can get organic produce now, but as winter comes along, it's hard to get in our rural community any good organic produce. So at that point,
What do you do at that point? Can you guys hear me?
I can.
Okay.
Yes.
I can.
All right, because I lost Dennis there, and I don't know what's going on with our internet connection, maybe. But yeah, you just got to do the best you can. I did answer that on Facebook already, but you have to do the best you can. You're not always going to be able to get organic, fresh produce at different times of the year. And there is some wisdom in eating in season. We discussed that in the past too, of learning to eat what's in season. Maybe we're not supposed to eat apples all year round. Maybe we're not supposed to necessarily eat broccoli all year round. So having a rotational diet can be beneficial too. But try to stick to that clean 15, dirty dozen list as best you can. The problem is even if you stick to organic foods, you're going to get pesticides and chemicals in it. You just got to do the best you can. Any other
Thank
questions? No? Nothing? No other questions? That's all right.
I've got one more question here.
Uh-huh.
And you and I we referenced this before when I was there for my 2-day treatment, but I went to my oncologist a couple of days ago. Boy, are they discouraging. I mean, a year ago, they were telling me I had 6 months to live, and if I take their drug, I'll live an extra 6 months. Now they're saying I've got about a year to live, and if I take their drugs, I'll live 2 more years. How do we deal with that? I mean, they keep saying my cancer is going to come back full force. I mean, I'm just frustrated with that oncologist.
Sure. Yeah, that's understandable. And my belief is that no one has the right to tell you how many years you got to live or months you got to live. That's in God's hands. So you gotta recognize an untruth when you hear it too. And I understand that they're trying to many times have your best interest at heart, and in their mind they're thinking that the way that they have to treat with the tools that they have in their pocket are the only tools that exist, and they ignore anything doing outside of what their recommendations are, because that's how they've been taught, and they can only teach what they know. So you got to balance that out with seeking, counsel from a multitude of people, and to recognize that your God is in control of your end days. Sometimes it's appropriate to do chemotherapy. Sometimes it's appropriate to do what they want you to do. Sometimes it's not appropriate to do what they want you to do, and then you just got to make that decision. So, but I also understand that sometimes you go to the oncologist, it can get very discouraging. I would highly recommend that if you leave that meeting, or you leave any meeting with anybody, regardless if it's a doctor or a friend, and you feel discouraged because of it, and it's not lifted you up and given you hope, then you make sure that you pray about that last meeting that you had, so that you don't let the spirit of discouragement or worry or anxiety come upon you and bring you down. Just say, no, I don't accept that. In the name of Jesus, I'm not going to take that. And Lord, just cleanse me from that and move on from it. And forgive them. I recommend that you just forgive them. They're coming from what they know and what they think is best for you, and that's all they can teach you. And try to use your next appointment as an opportunity to minister to them and tell them, hey, I'm doing some other things. I know God's got his hand on my life. I know you told me last time that I was going to only live 6 months if I didn't do your treatment, and here it's a year later. And I want to tell you why. And maybe somebody's going to be open to that and want to hear your story, and it's a chance for you to give your testimony. And this is how we can bring glory to God through the midst of our suffering. This is just another way we could do that. So just be open to whatever God has for you there.
Dr. Connors?
Uh-huh.
I have another question. I'm having trouble with this canker sores and crypto. It's that black tongue fungus, that fungus that puts that blacks on your tongue, and it says it's nocardia and crypto, I don't know, coccus. I can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
Anyway, it keeps going and coming. Is that an indication that yes, I'm stressing myself at times, and no, I'm not stressing at other times?
Yeah, there can be lots of reasons for that. It can be a pH imbalance in your mouth, especially if you get it with cold sores too. Is that what you're getting cold sores with it also?
Yes.
Yeah. So cold sores are really a big indication that your pH of your mouth is acidic. So even taking like a calcium tablet and just kind of sucking on it can help a lot to bring that balance in, and that can help balance that because that will be alkalizing to your mouth. Even putting a little baking soda in your mouth, putting a little, lick your finger and put some baking soda on it, dab it on your tongue or dab it on a cold sore. That could be helpful. And then other things like thieves oil can help with the bacteria. Running the bacterial program in the rife can be beneficial. I think grapefruit seed extract can be beneficial. And you're just going to have to try different things because different bacteria, fungus can develop an immunity towards things too. So
it's definitely not viral; it's bacterial.
Yeah.
Okay. So, have you ever heard of cat?
LAZ worked for me.
What's that?
L-lysine worked for me with cold sores. Stops them right away.
That's right. L-lysine will work as well. L-lysine, it works better taken on a regular basis to help keep cold sores at bay. So that's another thing that could be beneficial too. Good comment.
What dose?
I don't remember the milligram dose. I don't have any L-lysine that I carry. You're gonna have to look for that in a health food store.
Okay.
It was 1,000 milligrams. I'm not sure.
Okay, I can't remember.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Connors?
Uh-huh.
It's Lisa Nagel. I have a question. I know there's always been a lot of talk about lymphatic. My tumor is in my right breast, and a few times it's felt fuller, harder. And then it would, I say it ebbs and flows. And now what I think I've found is it has something to do with my lymphatic, I think. Not that I feel any lymph nodes under my arm or anything like that, but I did a sauna. I went for a walk, like I sweated twice in the day, moved twice. I mean, I do the dry brushing and all of that. And after the sauna, the infrared sauna, and the walking and sweating, it's like the inflammation went down. So I'm just wondering if, like, because that tumor is there and just like, is that an also, like, and it's just on that side, it's not on the other side with the lymphatic, I don't know, just the tumor in the lymphatic, is that like a weak spot or a spot that the lymphatic wants to hang out, like not do it, is it get stuck there? That's one question. And the next question is, I have this tincture that has like red root and red clover and stingilla, and those are supposedly for lymphatic. Have you heard of that also?
Yeah, so there's different herbs that can help lymph flow, that have been known to help lymph flow. But remember what your lymphatics are. Your lymphatics are like are an open-ended capillary system, and I liken them to like your storm sewers on the side of your street. And if the storm sewers get clogged with leaves, they're not going to work very well, and you have a big rainstorm, and your front yard is going to flood. So you want to keep those lymphatic vessels open. Well, what are, in practical purposes, somebody with breast cancer, that all that those excess of cells that are there, and you're trying to kill the cancer cells, and you have different parts of cells that are being broken down, that they have to be carried out through the lymphatic system. They're like a clog of leaves, and you want to keep that moving. Otherwise, you could get stasis of that lymph, and then that could back up into the rest of the breast tissue, or anything on the downside or the upside of that river, and you could get like a dam, and it can block that flow. So always you want to be working on lymphatic drainage techniques, because that's how you get rid of poisons. You, even without having cancer or something like that, you have poisons from normal waste produced by metabolic processes of a single cell. And that's what your lymphatic system drains. It drains out that waste because your cells undergo metabolic processes, and then they dump their waste in the spaces between the cells, and it's completely dependent upon your lymph system to drain those spaces. So doing what you're doing are all great techniques. Motion, muscle contraction, working on detoxifying through other organs like your skin. That's what the sauna would be. Exercising, so you're sweating more, so you're basically getting the same type of sauna experience in detoxification. Plus, with exercising, you're just helping lymphatic flow. So you're doing everything right. It's not necessarily a sign that something is quote unquote wrong, but it's the fact that you do have cancer there, that you're going to have a lot of extra waste that has to move out of there.
Okay, because that's exactly, like, it actually was, I had pain, I mean, not high pain, but fullness and pain. And I almost feel like, yeah, it's inflammatory, and that was a good explanation. It's because of all those cancer cells, even as I believe they're dead or dying, they have to, now the trash men have to come and get them out.
That's right.
Okay, so that, and I also, I forgot to say, I went for a chiropractic adjustment the same day. So I did all of these things, and it all made a difference. But I do all of this regularly anyway. I just don't know why it backed up this week, like what made it sludge up.
Well, it could be a lot of reasons. Maybe you got more killing taking place. Maybe you were exposed to more toxins. Maybe, so there's just a lot of possibilities there.
Gotcha.
So
All right.
don't beat yourself up over it. It could be a good thing. Maybe you're killing more cancer cells. So you got to keep fighting the fight.
Great. Good explanation. Thank you.
Dr. Connors? I'm just curious, in a situation like that, how would a detox Pro Wade foot bath come in?
So there's lots of different ways to help with lymphatic flow. She just mentioned several of them there. Rebounding, doing detox foot baths, doing coffee enemas, doing hot water bottle compress over your liver, supporting liver pathways through nutrition, taking more milk thistle. All these things are great things, great tools to help move lymph. We have a bunch of more things like that in your binder, remember, under the lymph section too. So absolutely, another great technique. Any other questions, Mike?
I have a question concerning the Rife machine. On when my cancer was showing active, I was doing the spiral for 2 hours and the double bubble for 2 hours and the all night DNA repair. But now that it's stabilized and the chemo's over and I don't have to go back to the doctor for 6 months, I'm wondering how often I should be doing. I run the DNA every night, but how often I should do the other two, the cancer programs.
Who am I speaking with?
Pardon me?
Who am I speaking with?
Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me. Liz Schaffner.
Okay, Liz. So are you not running the programs that I gave you?
Absolutely, I'm running them.
Okay, and then you're doing a lot of extra things. So a lot of people on this call are probably going, what is she doing? Because they're not running a lot of day programs. So you have to do really what you're most comfortable with. I would hate to say, oh, you don't have to do any more day programs, just run the night program, because I'm not God. I don't know if that's true. But you also,
Right.
I don't want you to be so consumed with your life that you feel like you have no other life during the day too. Personally, I run the Rife during the day. When I come home, I run the Rife while I'm sitting in my office. I'm running the Rife, and I'm running the Rife at night too. So of course, I'm not just sitting in my office all day. I'm getting up and doing different things and going and seeing patients and stuff. And I can't always run the Rife, like I don't have it on right now, because if I'm on the phone with somebody, they typically go, what's that beeping noise? I can't hear you very well because it interferes with my calls. So I'm constantly pausing it and starting it. So I don't know, maybe I get 2 hours, maybe I get an hour during the day of real Rife time. But I think it's wise for everybody that if you are inclined to sit down and read a book or knit or watch TV, to be running the Rife at that time would be, if that's possible, that would be beneficial. So you're getting some daytime Rifing in as well. I'm just under the inclination that the more Rifing, the better, especially when your cancer is, been, in a fairly aggressive, angry state. And then maybe
right.
Less angry state, you could get by with less Rifing. So you just kind of use your common sense there in a little bit, and make sure you're praying about it, so you know that you're not making a mistake and not doing it as much as you should be doing either. So,
right. Thank you, Dr. Cohn.
You bet.
Hi, this is Dennis. I have another question. The Rife tube I have, the foam end supports have somehow slid in towards the middle of the tube a little bit. Is that an issue or a problem? Do I need to pull them back?
It isn't. It's just a problem for me because I have a little OCD-ishness, so I want to get them looking nice. So that's happened to my tube too, and I've gone in with like a little metal. I've taken a piece of copper wire and bent the end of it like a hook and grabbed onto it and pulled it back, and then put a little hot glue in there to have it stay there. It's not going to affect its function at all, though. It's just a matter of what it looks like.
Okay, thank you.
Are we all out of questions? This is what you get when you only allow really smart people to come here as patients. That's been my little secret technique, so I just don't get as many questions. So it's just fantastic. So I get to leave work early, I guess. I will.
I'd like to take the opportunity to really thank you for these faithful weekly calls and being available to answer questions. Thank you so much.
Oh,
Agree. And your patience. You have so much patience.
I thought you were talking about my patients. You were talking about me.
Because I know questions are repeatedly asked because you might miss a Zoom call or whatever. So you have a lot of patience.
Oh, absolutely. Now, next week, after you just said our faithfulness to our Wednesday Zoom calls, I think we're going to have to do next week's on Tuesday, but I will post it on Facebook because I'm going to be out of town next week on Wednesday, and Michelle's going to be out of town next week on Wednesday. She has to do a home visit, I think, out east. So we're going to do it on Tuesday, but I'll post it, and it will be a different link. So just be aware of that. I'll post that up on the Facebook page when we know that for sure.
Okay.
So
thank you so much.
Thank you for your kindness. Your words of encouragement are heartfelt, and we appreciate those.
Oh my God.
Doing what we do, it can get very discouraging when we have patients that everything we do just sometimes doesn't work. And I'm wise enough to know that it's not in my control and I'm not the healer, but it so saddens me when I feel like I've let people down in ways. And I know that I did it, and I know it's in God's hands, but in my flesh, it just breaks my heart. We had a couple patients that passed away this week. I don't think they weren't anybody that was on the Facebook page. Now understand, everybody that's listening to this Zoom call right now, you started with us last September or later. We've allowed a few people that started with us prior to that. When we first started this Facebook page, I allowed some people in there that started prior to that. But I've been doing this for almost 20 years with patients, and it's all everybody that you're listening to, all the people on Facebook that are encouraging you and such, and patients in the last 12 months. We get patients that were given 3 months to live, and they live 4 years and they pass away. And we've had relationships with them for 4 years, and it's just heartbreaking sometimes. So we cherish your prayers. I just ask that you continue to pray for us, for encouragement, for protection, and for wisdom, because without that, we would be completely lost. So
Amen.
Thank you guys for all that you do, and you guys really make this clinic, because it's not about us, it's about all you guys. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
All right, with that, we will end it, and we'll get this up on Facebook as soon as possible, and I will remake that to a video too. Thanks.
Thank you, dear.
Bye-bye.
Bye.